everyone, I am Chris. This is Simply Classic, and today we have a totally different kind of video for you, something you've never seen before. You a little curious? Stay tuned. Before we get started, make sure that you like the video, you subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of any new videos that we release. So before I get started about what today's video is on, it's not bag making, it's something different. Let me tell you how it came about. In February, we were in Puyallup, Washington, and we did the Sewing and Stitchery Expo up there. It was a fantastic show. We had a great time. Very first day, the very first customer that walked in the booth was talking to her friend, and I kept thinking, God, I know that person. Now, mind you, I'm from Georgia, and we're in Washington State, so you can't get any further apart than what we are. But I kept thinking, I know this person. Where do I know this person from? So finally, I said to her, I know you. Where do I know you from? And she said, oh, I'm Whitney from TomKat Stitchery. And of course, at that point, bells and whistles went off. So if you have never watched Whitney's channel, Whitney has a YouTube channel called TomCat Stitchery, and she is an amazing seamstress. She makes clothing, and I watched her for years because I've done apparel sewing, mostly for myself. I don't know that I've ever done it for anybody else. Human body is hard to fit, I feel like. So anyway, I ended up, just kind of dabbling in sewing things for myself, and really have been doing so since I was a little girl. So even though bag making and garment making are not the same thing, they're certainly related. So long story short, she ended up buying the Leah pattern and some gorgeous red and gorgeous camel leather. And she is going to be making the Leah, but she's hacking it, which if you watch my channel, you know how much I love hacks, into a computer bag. So I haven't even seen this video yet, but she has posted it today on her YouTube channel. So we've linked that below, and you can hop over there and take a look at her bag. So after the show, we came home and we did a few Zoom meetings together and decided that I would love to take her shirt making 101 class. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the shirt. So this is my shirt. I'll do a little twirl for you. So I'm not totally foreign to garment making. However, it's been a while. It has been a while since I've made a shirt. This class is an online class that she has. You can go to her website. We're going to link everything below. And it is, y'all, it's really, really good. So I watched it with a little bit of skepticism, thinking, I'm not sure what I'm going to really get out of this class, what I'm going to learn from it. I learned a ton, and I've been sewing since I was 13 years old, okay? But I learned a ton. She has just got tips and tricks. She shows you everything from cutting out the shirt all the way to sewing the buttons on. She gives you tips for ironing. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you've been making garments your whole life, you're going to get something out of this class. It is amazing. It has 9 modules, and in the modules, there are like certain lessons. There's several lessons in each one. So you definitely get your money's worth. She goes over a sewn on placket versus a grown on placket. I mean, I really didn't understand what those terms meant. My shirt had a grown on placket, and what that means is the placket is part of the shirt. It's not a separate piece. She goes over yoke sewing methods, and she specifically shows you how to do the burrito method, which I had never done before. And what that does is it finishes the shirt on the inside and the outside. Super easy to do once you learn how to do it. Very, very cool. The other thing she goes over is a collar stand versus a camp collar. Now, I decided I wanted a collar stand, which is what this shirt is, versus a camp collar. Camp collar folds over a little bit more. I like the look of this one better. She talks about a tower continuous lap placket. That's for the sleeves. Now, I am really bad about wearing my sleeves up. I've always worn my sleeves up whenever I wear a button-down shirt. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of winter, if I have a sweater on over, I'm always rolling my sleeves up. But just as an example, I'm going to show you that she, of course, shows you how to do these sleeves, okay? Just like a normal sleeve. This particular one, I've got pleats in it. I mean, it is just super exciting to learn how to do that, right? Just like the kind of shirts you buy in the store. So she goes over that. She also, let me roll my sleeve back up here. She also talks about a faux flat fell seam or a French seam for your side seams. If you remember a couple of videos ago, we had a free pattern called the Little Lexi, and we did a bag, and in that, on the side panels, like on the side gussets, we did a French seam. But you know, I've never really done French seam in garment. This is linen, and this is the light pink linen that we have on our website. I decided it's summertime, a linen shirt would be perfect. I actually, for the first time ever, did a French seam going all the way up the side. Okay, you sew your sleeve on, and then you sew from the bottom of the shirt all the way up to the sleeve, into the sleeve. And what that does is it gives you a finished sleeve on the inside and the outside. So here's, I'm going to try to give you an up close here. So here is my seam on the outside of my shirt. Okay, you can see that right there. It's finished, of course. And then on the inside, I'm going to open this up. Can you see that? That's finished as well. Okay, look at that. No serging or anything. It is so cool. It is so easy to do. It is so, I don't know why I haven't been doing that my whole life with shirts. So easy. She goes over the difference between a one-piece cuff and a two-piece cuff and the advantages of using one over the other. She goes over muslin, I have a note here, front and yoke and back and yoke, just different kind of styles of shirts, okay? What she does not go over in the video is, number one, she doesn't tell you what pattern to use, which at first I was like, eek, what am I gonna do? And I'll tell you what I did in just a minute. And then she doesn't go over fitting, okay? This is just the shirt making itself. So when she said, I don't give you a pattern, you can use any shirt pattern you want, after watching the videos, I knew what I was looking for in a pattern. So, like I said, I wanted the grown-on placket. I wanted the collar with the collar stand. So I started looking at patterns, and I really wasn't sure what to choose. So what I ended up doing, and I suggest you do this too, is go back to her YouTube channel and just in the search bar, type in shirts or button-down shirts or something like that. And she has a ton of videos on different patterns she has done for shirts. I ended up choosing the pattern by Itch to Stitch called the Montana shirt. Now, this shirt had a couple of variations. Actually, it has many variations. You can do the tie like this, and this is just two little short pieces here that you tie together. You can also just do a regular shirt, okay, like with a straight bottom. It also has like a longer dress. You can turn it into a shirt dress. You can do a tie. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff. So that was a really great pattern to use. It also had cup sizing. And as we get older, maybe, sometimes our cup sizing changes. So the cup sizing benefits me greatly. And that is great in any kind of pattern that you have, any kind of shirt pattern, because then you don't have to guess and try to adjust the cup sizes on your own. So that was a plus for me in that pattern. But she had several others. I actually had 3 or 4 pulled up on my screen before I decided which one to choose. One is not necessarily any better than the other. It's just what kind of features and what do you like in the shirt. Okay. So we are going to give you a coupon code for this class. It is a really great class. I highly suggest that y'all take a look at it and consider taking the class. It's very reasonable in price, and that will give you 15% off of the Shirt Making 101 class. And the greatest thing about sewing is that it fits, right? I mean, you can make whatever size you need. You can make whatever adjustments you need. I love making button-down shirts because I can actually make it so it doesn't pull here. You know, a lot of times our button-down shirts pull, even when we, you know, move around, we get that pulling. Doesn't happen with my shirts because I make my shirts to fit me. Okay, just like bag making, we can do the same thing with our clothing. One other thing I want to share that Whitney talked about, and I have to say, I think I'm going to steal this from her. I hope she doesn't mind. It is just, what she said was just like my favorite thing ever. And I've always tried to convey this to you, but I never maybe had the right words. She had the perfect words. She said, perfection is the thief of joy. And I want you to really think about that. Because I can promise you, this shirt is not perfect. I can probably point out about 6 things that are wrong with it, at least, okay? But you, looking at me, looking at the shirt, probably have absolutely no idea what those are and would never know. Walking down the street, you would never know. Looking at me, you'd think, oh, wow, she bought that shirt. Or even if you thought I made it, you'd probably think, wow, she really did a good job on that shirt. Yes, we want to strive for perfection, and we want to strive for good quality handbags and good quality clothing when we make our clothing. Good quality, if you're a quilter, quilting, draperies, whatever it may be. You always want to strive for the perfection, but don't get so hung up on it that you get frustrated and then the joy of sewing just vanishes for you. That's not what we're here to do. It isn't. And the more you sew, the better you're going to get at it. Practice makes perfect. That is absolutely true with sewing. I can promise you my first bag is nothing like the bags I make today. So remember that. When you're getting frustrated or you think something doesn't look good, remember, perfection is the thief of joy. Okay? So think about taking this class. It's really amazing. And y'all know I do not recommend anything that I do not think is fantastic, whether it's notions, anything. I'm always going to be 100% honest with you. So think about taking the class. Use the coupon code if you do. Enjoy it. I think you can get something out of it, regardless of what your sewing level is. Also, go over to TomKat Stitchery's channel. Check out the bag she made. Like I said, I hadn't even seen it. I'm super excited to see it. Cannot wait. And until next time, everybody, happy sewing.